Hi there, everyone. How you doing? Thank you for dropping by. Hope you're having a lovely evening. I hope you, Duke Wellington, are having a very lovely morning. As I see, it's 7 o'clock in the morning there, and you've just finished a night shift. Man, that's dedication. That's dedication. Thank you very much for joining me. How are you all? Hi, Chris, and hey, Nick. Good to see you. Simon. I'm actually Simon. I'm going to be starting that swordfish very, very soon, which is going to be good fun, I know, because it's looking lovely. Adam, hi. Oh, Mikey, how you doing? Mikey, your package will definitely be on its way to you tomorrow, so I'm sorry for the delay, but it'll be on its way to you tomorrow. Bobby G, how you doing, my friend? James, Fred, Leslie. Well, good to see all of you guys. Hey, Dave. Muted cannot be on. Mute can't be on because, and that's on. Are you sure? Are you sure it's on? I don't know. Can you actually hear me? Can everyone hear me? I don't know. But mute doesn't seem to be on here anyway. Ian, bonsoir de la France. Bonsoir à tous. How are you doing? Oh, hello, Dane. How you doing? Anyway, glad to so many of you turning up. Absolutely fantastic. Great to see you on. Yes, Simon, you see your mute was on. I learnt from the last time I did this when my friend Mike was phoning me desperately. Gary, your mute's on, mate. So now, first thing I do is check the mute, and then I set it going. So, hey Joe, good to see you again. How are you? How's my dad? Well, he's kind of okay. He's stable, is the word I would use. We're going to have to discuss what happens to him next because medically there's not really a lot they can do for him. So need to figure out care and stuff like that for him. But he's hanging in. We've just now have to go through the whole rigmarole of arguing with various people who tell us all about my dad, like we don't know. Anyway, that's all for the rest of the week and for the weekend and the next week and the week after and da 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 da. But he, at the moment, is stable and fine and just basically just asleep all day in his bed. But it's being looked up after, so that's cool. Oh, Chris, up again at 4 in the morning. Damn, man, that is not great. Not great. Hope you enjoy your work. Andy, how you doing? Hello, everyone. God, all these wonderful people turning up. Right, so, I've got my little tornado again. We've still got my little Tonka here. Kept it nice and safe. There it is. I've been working away all sorts of things this week on the old channel there. I filmed a lot of box reviews, so keeps us going, you know. And I've got lots of builds on and being finished as this Heinkel 162 I've been working on for a little while. It's who makes it, A model or is it AZ? Can't remember if it's A model or AZ. Not my favourite thing in the world, I have to say. I mean, I love the plane. The plane is amazing, but the model really wasn't my favourite. But it's made, it's done. Gannett is continuing, making a start on the on a Fuga Magister, which is this week's kit of the week, because that looks lovely. I've been spraying with my new spray booth. Yay! Oh, it's been so much fun. Oh, yeah. And why are you guys always up so damned early? I was got make a living to pay for the hobby, I guess. Makes sense. Anyway, so there it is. There's a little beauty. I'll try and do some work on it while I'm chatting to you, and see how we get on for the next couple of hours or so. Do remember, check up any questions you like, any comments you like, have a chat amongst yourselves, whatever you feel like. But just have fun. That's the most important thing you hear. To have fun, as are we all in this wonderful model making hobby of ours. What who's so? Oh, Leslie, you'd already ordered that American truck. Yeah, the FWD. Looks a lovely kit, I have to say. It looks quite complex. Um, the running gear and all that looks a lot, but really not. From my experience of doing an that Kozak from the ICM, that just like fell into place. It was just beautiful. So it looks nice. It looks nice. Um, yeah, A model, and I can't remember if it's A model or AZ. I did have a box around here somewhere. That's down underneath that, but I've got another box up here. I think it's AZ. Yeah, AZ. It's like one of these sort of low run, low pressure kits. They've got lots and lots of variants of it, and none of them particularly nice to build, I don't think. But hey, there you go. Ben. Okay, Ben, I am going to be doing a video about that because if you can't wait, then if you go to the Barbatos Rex website, he does a load of stuff on that, and that's where I found out about it. It's really quite simple, but I was using it today. You need to do a little bit of calibration, let's say, because with the bucket filter you drill some holes in the lid of the bucket to let air out. So essentially you've got a big hole in the top of the bucket. The exhaust pipe goes into that and there's water underneath it, so it sort of blasts onto the water, comes up the side of the pipe, then it's got to come out again. So drill lots of holes in the top, and then you put some activated charcoal filters over that as well, so there's always filtration going on. But the number and size of holes on the top, you may have to add a few more to stop the sort of a pressure build up and a back pressure going through a system and it not venting properly. But once you've got that sorted out, it's brilliant. You change the water, but depending on how much you use it, you maybe change the water every week or 2 weeks or something. The filter you can take longer until it, basically until you start smelling it, I guess. And it's a really good way of doing it. But I'm doing a video about it and about installing the whole thing, so that should be cool. Hi Matthew, how you doing? Mikey's already had a couple of hours kip on the sofa. Oh yeah, that's not a surprise, mate. But then you probably got up early and started doing fun things early doors, I am sure. Okay, that doesn't look like it's going to fit very nicely. So, Dane, still struggling to come up with the oldest kit in your stash, but you got the D-Day subject sorted. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, quick word about that. So, I follow my viewers quite often, and gave you all the choice, and yeah, the oldest kit in the stash was what came up. I was quite happy with that in a way. And I know a lot of you are struggling with what your oldest kit in the stash is, and maybe it's something you really don't want to build because it's the oldest kit in your stash because you don't want to build it. Just think just get an old kit, all right? I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to ask for proof of purchase. I'm not going to ask for, asking for you to sort of swear on oath that this is actually the oldest kit you've got, or any of that nonsense. Just, you've got to enjoy what you're building. I don't want you to be pulling out a kit and thinking, oh, I really didn't enjoy doing that, because that's no point. You know me, it's all about enjoying the hobby. So if you've got a big stash and you think, oh, I really cannot figure out what it is, or I really don't want to do it, but the one that is the oldest, then do something else. Also, if you haven't got a stash because you're quite new to modelling, just thinking, well, I only do one kit at a time. Well, that's cool. If you haven't got anything on the go, to do for it, not a problem. The next kit you buy, make sure it's one you want to build for the group build, because a stash is just essentially a big stack of unbuilt kits, right? a stash can be one kit. Can be one kit. If there's nothing else, you've only got one kit. That is, by its very nature, a stash. So, don't worry about it. People shouldn't worry about these things, you know. The whole point of group builds for me is just have a bit of fun. And I know people getting stressed out. You know, if you got like 300 kits up there and you can't figure out which one is the oldest, just get one that's you've had a long time and say, yeah, that's probably the one I bought first. I don't, frankly, it's not my business to care one way or the other. I just want to see something that's been in your stash, however big your stash might be, for the longest time, give or take, and that will do. Alright, so don't want any stress, I don't want any worries, I just want people to enjoy the build. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. So, 1/35th Dragon Scudby. Nick, that'll teach you not to have built it in all this time. That's good. Oh, Scudby. God, that's going to be big. You could do it after it's been visited by an F-16, I guess, and just pile it up. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Ben, I'll never do a large model in all white again. That sounds to me like you've been doing one of the V bombers, maybe the Valiant or something. 3.5 litre Bentley. Wow, that's a nice kit. The small one. Okay, 43 Squadron Italeri F3. Very nice. Wow, Adam, nice kit. The Mobius Models Battlestar Galactica Viper. Wow. See a lot of sci-fi and things like that recently on Facebook and all that. It's brilliant. It looks really interesting. Yeah, so yes, stuff acquired beyond life expectancy. Yeah, I know. I see people on Facebook and they're showing, yeah, this is my stash, and it's got like 500 kits there, and you think, yeah, well, you're in your 50s. That's an awful lot to do. You're never ever going to do that. Excuse me. Oh dear. Ryan, yes, you have no stash because I built my kits. Yeah, well, we all start like that, Ryan. Thank you very much. Sometimes things just kind of take over, and you stash builds. We love a top. Yeah, we all love it. I've got several now. I've got this one. I've got as I mentioned before, I've got this one. I've got the 1/32. I've got 1/72 to Tonkas to do. I like them a lot. They're not, in many respects, the prettiest of airplanes, but they really, really, really are nice. Oh, Dane, going to do the Airfix TSR2. Well, yes, very nice. Oh, Ben, it was the Vulcan. It's even more white then, isn't it? Because that is a really, really, really big piece of white. Beautiful kit, though. Beautiful, beautiful kit. Simon, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you, my friend. Wow. That's really nice. 5 more members. Wonderful. Just so you know, those who don't know about it, membership, what that does, it keeps some money coming into the channel, which is fantastic, which means I can do the channel, but also what you get for that is every Saturday, sometimes every Sunday, on a Sunday, sometimes I'll do it on a Friday night, but normally on a Saturday, I'll do a video just for my supporters, including people who subscribe to the channel here. And it's a bit more of a sort of a personal look at what goes on, what I'm up to, plans of things like that, and things, So, those of you who have just been given a membership very generously, then you'll see on Saturday Yep, Saturday, this coming Saturday should be okay. What it's all about, it's about half an hour, 40 minutes of me sort of rambling on about various things related to model making and the channel, and occasionally just life itself and stories of things that have happened and I've seen and whatever. Yeah, it's just fun. DDD. I saw someone saying something about, oh yeah, mini art 3 really, yeah. Yes, I did see something about the Winter Warriors. But George, yes, it will. I'll really seriously work on that. Build the video of all the builds from Winter Warriors. There's one set of pictures I really need to grab. But other than that, I'll have actually started putting them all together and doing the video editing, because then what I need to do is get them all onto a standard background so they all sit into the HDR. There's no edges like here and there. Don't have sort of edges down the side. So rather than cut the images down too much, I like to just put a border around them, a bit like I do for on Monday Matters for the news and stuff like that. So that just takes a little bit of time, but and there's been so many other things going on, but I will definitely get onto that. I've ticked off a lot of my to-do list today. I've been very good. I've been a very good boy today with my to-do list, including trimming the old beard. And doing accounts and things like that. I know. I never really liked mathematics, but there we go. Ryan, you're working on the 1/48th chipmunk. I love that 1/48th chipmunk. Don't forget to mess around with the wings a bit. I found on them that you have to take off the alignment pegs to get the wings to sit absolutely flat. And maybe when you build them, build one wing first, put it flat on the desk with something on it and let it really set before you do the other wing. Then they'll stay straight when you put them onto the body. But other than that, it's an absolutely beautiful kit. Bit of a petrol head. Ben, we're all a bit of a petrol head, dude. Mikey, not sure which kit to do, as I have half a dozen kits that you got at the same time. Well, pick your favourite, mate. Again, it's not going to be under oath, any of this, so yeah, have fun, do whatever you like. Graham, what's tonight's beer of choice? What else could it be? What else could it be but a pint of the good stuff, a pint of Guinness, of course. A belated happy St Patrick's Day to all of our Irish friends. Cheers. Slanger. That of course is why Damien Jaws sent me the Magister to do with Irish markings, and actually started cleaning it up and started doing some work on that earlier today. Shot the box opening bit of the video. This one I'm just going to do as a box opening and then the build all in one long video. I think it actually look really better. Yeah, whatever you like to do. Amusing hobby tanks. Yeah, why not? Do you know what? Why not? There's some amazing things out there. Absolutely amazing things out there. Right, so I've actually glued something together this early in the evening. This bodes almost well. So, what else has been occurring? It's very difficult to think what's been going on, really. I don't want to take that spill vein down too much. There we go, that'll do. Yeah. Did the 100... Oh, thank you all, by the way, for your very kind comments about the centenary of Monday Matters. It's funny. 100, you know, when you start these things, you don't think, oh, in 100 weeks' time it's still going to be going. You think, yeah, well, I'll try this first and see how it goes, and then maybe, you know, I'll change this and I'll add that and I'll do this, and you know, in a year or two's time, it won't be the same thing. And no, it's almost exactly. So I actually watched the first video again the other day, and there really isn't all that much difference apart from, you know, some of the presentational things, the green screening and the music reference, and bits and pieces are different, but the fundamentals of news, what I'm up to, what I'm going to be doing is the same. And you know what? Obviously that works. I'm really happy. You guys seem to be very happy with it as well. So, you know, it keeps me going. And it also gives you a sort of a punctuation to the week, rather than just plugging out videos and trying to get things done. And you know, it gives you almost like a timetable to go to, which really helps when you've got a lot of things to do. I've been filming, as I say, today I was filming some more. I'm recording voice for some more box review things, doing a bit of shooting on one or two other things as well. There's going to be plenty of content coming up, I have to say, plenty of content. Richard, it starts my week with a smile. Richard, you know what? It starts my week with a smile, except my week starts on a Sunday in this case. So Sunday's the day I do Monday Matters, and I have a lot of time. I have a lot of fun doing it, and researching it, and trying to find a decent musical reference and things like that. It's fun. It's absolutely fun. Accurate Armour 135th Centurion AVRE. Well, the very best of luck to you with that, Mikey. Richard, you went in a Tiger Moth at Goodwood in 1991 and had aerobatics. What fun! What fun! The old Tiggy's a beautiful little plane. Another flying one. About 80. Ooh, early 80s. Actually, no, it was in 1980. Flew one from the Tiger Club, which was not far from Reigate, Red Hill at the time. Amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. Chris, how you doing? Hello. Murphy's. Yeah. You see, I love Guinness. I love dark beers, stouts, porters. You know, like an IPA, like a double IPA, like a hoppy beer, but I love a porter or a proper stout. You get these sort of coffee stouts and chocolate stouts now, which are really, really rich, absolutely beautiful. Love them. And they go down so smoothly. Right, good. Kind of caught up, which is amazing, actually. Right, while I don't want to mess around with that too much while that's drying, because I'm going to just put a tiny little bit of filler in. So I'm going to have some real fun now, and I'm going to mask the canopy. Yeah, that. I'm going to do a mask for that. Oh dearie me, why do I do these things to myself? Anyway, I will be doing it as long as I can find the little bit of mask that I like to use for these things. If I can't, then I won't be. Oh, gonna have to look for that. It's a problem with rearranging your desks and doing other things and clearing up. Clearing up is the one nightmare scenario in my world, because I always clear things where I can't find them ever again, and that's really awful. Yeah, well, you can't beat a nice single malt. Yeah. You're right. A nice single malt is a very, very lovely thing. Um, I tend to shy away from them a little bit these days because for a little while we weren't the best of friends, me and Mr. Single Malt. But I love them. I went to spent Christmas and New Year up at Abbey Moor one time, and um, it was with the family, and it wasn't like it's nice, but I couldn't, I didn't really want to hang around too much with them. But just up the road from the hotel was a nice little whiskey shop with this very nice little Highland laddie behind the counter. And I went in and I said, "Hello, how are you doing, sir?" "Hello to you, sir, how are you doing?" We got off on the right foot straight away, obviously. And he said, "What can I get for you?" And I said, "I'll have that bottle of that Ardbeg up there, please. You have the 1974. And he said, "Why?" And I was slightly taken aback by this. That's not normally how shop people. Yes, why do you want that? Why do you want that? Well, because I like it. I know, so, to sort of wax lyrical about its peatiness from the island of Isla. And eventually he said, okay, then you can have one. And it's almost like you had to pass a test. Well, a cheap bottle of whiskey, mind you. And so that's all very interesting. And by the way, what would I have said if I'd have come in and said, just give me a bottle of the most expensive whiskey you've got? And he put a bottle of Teachers on the counter and said, I'd have charged you £500 for that, because you don't know any better, you don't deserve the good stuff. I thought, okay. Wonder if that shop's still there. Maybe it is. Maybe it's kind of an institution, how you have to pass Dougal MacDonald's, or whatever his name is, exam before you're allowed to buy his whiskey. But it was just bizarre. Ardbeg, oh my goodness, I love peaty malt, really peaty malt, but also from Isla, the water there has a really sort of iodine-y edge to it. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely lovely. Adam, do I have a C130 in this? Actually, no, I don't have a C130 in the stash. That's something I've been thinking of, ages. I've been thinking maybe I should do one. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I know I've been in them, flown in a few. It's a lovely plane, the Herc. The C-130 is a lovely aeroplane. Liberators. 3 miles away to your distillery, Graham. Yeah, thanks for that, mate. Yes, I was watching that Sprewbox thing about the Liberators earlier, and I was thinking then, what's very exciting, that it's actually coming fairly soon, because it looks an amazing kit. I have to say, it does look really good. The CAD images I've seen have just been phenomenal. What I will try, now I need to have a little chat with Dale from Airfix about this. What I'll try and do with all of the big releases this year, actually, so not just with the Liberator, but with the Bulldog and the Chinook, and maybe with the, sorry, just concentrating so I don't put this blade through my finger, maybe with some of the new starters as well, is see if I can get a chat with maybe the designer and with Luke, the researcher, each time they do one of these things, and then I can have a chat about them, find out what they think, or what they know, what their favourite bits are, usual sort of chit chat, but do that for each of the new launches as they happen. Mike, how you doing? The Peat Monster. That's my mate. That just sounds so much up my street. I got to tell you. But as I said, I don't really use it very much these days, sadly. The peat monster. I love the sound of that. If I'm going to get one, don't get the Italeri C130. You built it. Okay, that's very much. That's cool. John, while you're chatting to Dale, asking about a new TSR2, he's asked about that TSR2 an inordinate amount of time. Now, the old TSR2, I can't remember where of this. I don't know whether they've actually got the molds or whether they can't find them, or whether they belong to someone else because of the very complex history of Airfix. They don't actually own a lot of the older mouldings, and I don't know if TSR2 is amongst those that they don't actually own. Would they do a new one from scratch? Now there's a question. Given that they have done things like the Swift, which was it was a great plane for its time and all the rest of it, but I don't know how well that was actually received as being this sort of oddity in the history of jet aviation in the UK, with not many variants. They can't go down their normal route of like doing 3 or 4 different versions of it in order to recoup their tooling. The thing they have to do is make their money back and then make a profit. Now, a new tooling project costs a lot of money. I mean, properly a lot of money. I think something like the 1/24th Spitfire is like a £300,000 project. So even something 1/72, it's all time. It's not the physical size, it's the time it takes. Now, 1/72 will take more time. Sorry, well, a 1/24th will take more time than the 1/72. But even so, it does take a lot of time and effort, and they have to be confident that they're going to get a return. Now, if they do have the TSR2 molds and they own them, then that's what vintage classics were invented for, and that's probably where in the first instance they would go to test the current water on the aircraft, because it might be that a lot of younger model makers actually haven't heard of a TSR2. I know they need educating on these things. However, it's a fact of life. It's a sad fact of life, but it's a fact of life nonetheless. So, if they were to do a vintage classics release and it sold really well, then I guess they would look into doing a new tooling, and they would then go up to Cosford and scan it, or Duxford and scan it, and do all the things they need to do, and in about 2 years' time you'd have one. But I suspect if they own the moulds, that they will go down the route of doing a vintage classic release first and then assess it. So personally, I don't see it happening any time in the next, say, 3 or 4 years. I might be completely wrong, and I might get an invitation tomorrow to go to Duxford in June or July and for a special secret squirrel launch, and it'll be a brand new TSR2. I could be completely wrong. I personally don't think it will be just yet. It's sad as well because I absolutely adore the TSR2. It's an absolutely gorgeous machine. Excuse me. Andy had to Google what TSR2 was. Well, you know, yes, I don't blame you. No one's expecting everyone to know everything about the entire history of aviation. It's just one of those things. It's a bit one of those kits that a lot of people would like, because the plane has got a lot of sort of history to it, and the sort of way it was cancelled, and you know, all the background to it is amazing. You know, everyone keeps saying, oh, it was cancelled by the government, and then it would have been a world beater and all that, and it would have been a damn good aeroplane. I've had a great pleasure of having met the test pilot many years ago, B. Beaumont, and he rates it next to the Lightning as the best plane he ever flew. But, you know, there we go. Oh, Simon, you've got the absolute original. That's worth an absolute fortune. Yeah, I see, Ian. I agree with you. If they've got the tooling, I think it's absolutely going to be a vintage classic release. Bobby, I do agree. They need to do a 124th Hurricane to go along with the 124th Spitfire. I think they would sell loads of them. I mean, loads of them. But there we go. Darren, how's the Ferry Rotodyne build going? It's going okay. Let me just show you. It's hit a bit of a stop for the moment, only because other things have come on. Here it is. Here's the Rotodyne. Now, I also have built a, if I can find it. Oh, did I put it over by? No, I didn't put it over there. Ah, here. I was almost going to say, did I leave it by my paint booth? I'm just so loving having one of these things. Okay, so I've done this. You might not, yeah, might just be able to get a bit of the idea. Yeah, there you go. It's a bit of plastic card on this. This is like the ramp that goes, like the cargo ramp goes to the whole length of the bay there. And I tried it the other day, and because I've got two of the Bloodhound kits, I've got a spare Land Rover, and it fits. Excuse me. And it fits. So it fits with the ramp in place. So I can put the loading deck in. I can build a little ramp for it. Do it in Middle East command colours, and have a Land Rover almost like it's on trials or something being loaded into the back of that. So that'd be cool, huh? I think a bit that. I think about here. It is. It'd be brilliant. Prediction for the first surprise release. Dane, I never get this right. Any rumours for surprise releases? No, I've not heard anything at all about anything for surprise. Not for this year. I did notice some people said that they saw the team scanning a Strike Master the other day, or a Jet Provost 5, I guess it would be JP5. But that won't be for this year, obviously, because it takes time. And yeah, I don't know. You see, every time I speak to Dale, I'd say to him, when are you releasing Halifax? Because I can't believe that they will have all these American bombers, you know, B-17, lovely, B-24's coming out, they've got the B-25 is nice. They haven't done a Marauder yet, but, you know, who knows. ICM are doing one in 1/48th and they could re-release that in 1/72 as well quite easily. In fact, I have a suspicion they will. I haven't heard anything for certain, but I have a very strong suspicion that they will do a Marauder in 1/72, maybe next year or the year after. I can't believe they're doing all these things, and their Airfix are ignoring the third of the classic heavy bombers from the UK. The Lancaster kit is beautiful. The base kit that they do. They need to do a tall boy or Grand Slam version of that, of course. But you know, that's entirely possible to do. It's not difficult to do for them, given that they have all this stuff. They missed out on the Sterling because Italeri beat them to it. I don't know. I wish they would do the Halifax. I really wish they would start the Halifax, and you know, every time I mention this to, I mean, he's sick of it, I'm sure, but it's kind of becoming a kind of like a standing joke now. Like the last time I spoke to him about something, he said, "Right, got to go now. I've got to go and scan a Halifax." And I said, "No, you haven't. You've already scanned it, because you know, if you hadn't already scanned it, you wouldn't be ready to release it this year." And so I keep thinking you're going to send me an invite to an event at Hendon or somewhere, and it's going to be in the shadow of the Halifax, and you're going to say, "Ha ha, here's your Halifax," and we're going to go, "Yay, at last." And I said, "Yeah, the problem is now, Gary, if I send you an invite to something later in the year at Hendon, instantly you're going to be, oh my god, it's a new Halifax, and you know." Anyway, I think they're missing a trick if they don't do that very soon. I think they're going to miss a trick, and I suspect someone else like Italeri, or it could be others, but Italeri will steal their thunder and do one, because the Italeri Sterling, I think, is a lovely kit. A bit over engineered at times with the photo etch, but a lovely kit nonetheless. Right. Oh yes, Dane, you bought that Hobby Marauder. That looks a lovely thing as well. I mean, the Marauder's a beautiful aeroplane. It's an amazing aeroplane, actually. John, sorry, John, I didn't say hi to you earlier. John Marley, all the way from Oz. Good to see you there, my friend. Yeah, Hampden. I'd love them to redo the Hampden. Obviously, they're doing the original one in the Vintage Classics range. Again, you kind of think, are they just like kind of testing the water with it? Because it's over. Again, it's another one of these things like the Fairy Battle. I think a 1/48th Fairy Battle would be very sensible. Would be a very, very sensible kit for them to build. And I would definitely grab one of those. It's that whole sort of Fall of France kind of thing that they. It's about completing the set, isn't it? I mean, you've got Blenheims, both fighters. You've got all these. You've got your Wellingtons. Hampden in Vintage Classic at the moment, of course. I think maybe even they'll do a battle in Vintage Classic as well. Although From Azure are doing their new battle in 1/72 this year, which, from what I've seen of the CADs, looks properly nice. That's coming out in 3 different sort of sets of markings. Hampden just makes sense. You know, it's when things make sense and you think, Airfix, why are you not? I don't understand why you're not doing this. And then they go on about sales targets and the need to make money and all the rest of it. Whatever. But yeah, Halifax is the one thing I would love it if they do that this year. Absolutely love it. Of course, thinking a bit more about it, going a bit further into Planet, whatever it is I'm thinking on at the moment. The Halifax was used as a glider tug, was it not? wasn't it? I know the Sterling was, but I'm sure I've seen Halifaxes in D-Day markings doing glider work. I'm sure I have. Just thinking. Just saying. Just saying. Maybe. They are doing a load of stuff around D-Day, I know, because I've been invited to do some stuff with them. Or a thing with them. More of which when I get more information about it. But, yeah, that's going to be fun. Got a few interesting things coming up with them, actually. They're being quite good. Inviting me to stuff at the moment, which is nice, which means I haven't upset them yet with all my constant nagging about Halifaxes. Dale isn't completely fed up with me just yet. So, oh my god, don't let Gary anywhere near me. All he does is go on about the bleeding Halifax. So we've got this thing for D-Day. They're also doing a thing with the RNLI. I'm doing with them for the launch of the launch of the Shannon class Lifeboat. I can't remember. That's in June, I think, middle of June. So that's probably when that's going to come out. By the way, just need to catch up with what. Sorry, need to go. Yeah. Hi John, yes I'm well, thank you very much. I feel a lot better than I was. Still a bit of a cough now and again, but yeah, doing alright. Alan, the 172nd Sea Harrier, lovely, the FRS1 I'm guessing. The old tooling of the Airfix Halifax, was it good? Oh, yeah, cool. Steve, new as subscriber, but I love myself. Thank you, man. Really, really good to hear that. I try my best. As always, by the way, if I may regret saying this, but I do appreciate constructive, and I will say this again, constructive criticism. All right, I don't mind if you think that I should do something differently or whatever. Let me know. As long as it comes from a good place, you can say whatever you like to me. I've got a fairly thick skin when it comes to my channel. I may tell you that I can't do it or I won't do it, whatever, but if I tell you that, then I'll try and give you a reason why I think it won't work or whatever. Oh, Ben, thank you, man. That's very kind of you, Ben Kidd. Thank you very much for doing that, gifting a membership. That is very, very nice of you. Very generous of you. This is a lot of very generous and good souls amongst my viewers, and that's really nice to know that it's kind of like that altruistic kind of generosity, which is very nice to see. Thank you. Well done, Ben. I love it, man. Okay. Oh goodness, I don't like doing Canopy masks and by hand. I especially don't like doing the 144th scale, but there we go. Western Whirlwind would be cool. Obviously there's that special hobby 32nd scale one, which is massive, but you know. Yes, I've just done the P38 Lightning as well. It's Hobby 2000. I like what they do. I really do like them. You know, I've built a couple of their things. I built the Harrier, which I think again was Hasegawa originally. But what they do is they get the plastic and then they put in some paint masks, canopy masks, and then also they redo the decals. They get Cartograph to redo the decals. So you get a really nice bit of plastic, but with modern decals and a paint mask. And at a very, very reasonable price. They're really worth looking out for. Really worth. Yeah. Gliders of D-Day with a bomber. Yeah. Yeah. That's an idea. I've always had a dearie me, I'm not entirely sure. This is ammo liquid mask, and ugh, I saw a film like that once. Um, yes, gliders. I always fancied doing the Heinkel 111Z with an ME 321 and just towing them. I had a thing about ideas of things to do with gliders. Excuse me. And then also thought, doing air refueling sets. So, all these different mid-air refueling aircraft and different things. I don't know. It's where you display them, and hanging them from the ceiling is an option, of course. Now I have the spare room here, or the spare bedroom as my workshop. I could probably hang a few things from the ceiling, but probably not too much, because it would look like I'm an adolescent. I may speak and think like one, but I'm not an adolescent anymore. That's nice. It's not. Don't know if anyone else has had this problem with a liquid mask that I do. Is that I find after I've used it about half a dozen times, can't get the lid off anymore and have to throw it away and get a new one. Always that Humbrol one. Mask or whatever it's called. Liquid mask. It doesn't last at all. So that's why I tried the AK one. See if that would be any better. Oh, Damien. Gotta go. Well, it's safe journey home, my friend. Alright, yeah, we found a picture of a Halifax towing a horse. There you go, you see, Halifax could that be the start of the Halifax Ranger? Something towing a glider? I don't know. John, is that the Revel one for no, it's the Academy one. There we go. The Academy one with the box art in the beautiful tripartite evaluation squadron wraparound. Well, actually, it's not wraparound, is it? It's camouflage. And then, of course, the decal sheet comes for a Gulf War RAF one, but there we go. Darren, would I like to see the re-release of the C-130 and Bloodhound kit? Well, they've re-released the Bloodhound anyway. They've run out. You can still get them from other manufacturers. Other outlets. You can even get them on Amazon. But Airfix have run out. I don't know whether they would do it with the C-130 or just do the C-130 on its own. However, I don't think they have the C-130 tooling. I don't think. When I was having a chat with Dale about this a little while ago, and his attitude is they will release as many things as they possibly can in the Vintage Classics range. They will do, if they've got the moulds and they've got the right to use them, because as I mentioned earlier, some of the moulds actually may belong to someone else because of the rather complicated history of Airfix. But if they've got the moulds, they're usable or repairable. Sometimes things like they will retool bits and pieces, like the Bond Bug had the transparencies retooled because it was such a strong release for them. They thought it justified the cost of retooling the actual transparencies, and they did that. They reverse engineered one, in fact. But if they've got them, they will re-release them, which means that there could be some really, really, really cool things coming out. When we did the Airfix visit year before last, down to Margate. In the tool store, there were a few things, including the Rotodyne, which of course has now been re-released. They had the B1, is that 148th? B1. That was, the tooling for that was there. A few other things, and the SRN1 and the SRN4 hovercraft. Now the SRN4 I would love. Seriously, I would love the SRN4 to come out again. That would be amazing. I think they'd properly sell them. But anyway, so he does say they will do as many of them as they can, as many as they own, as many as are good enough or repairable. They will re-release them. Also, the other thing they try to do is make sure that they can get they've got a copy of the original box art. And a lot of the original art was painted by the likes of Roy Cross, but it's photographed onto large format transparencies to send off to the repro house to do the actual printing, and they've got a lot of those still. So if they've got the box art, they've got the tooling, and they own the rights to the tooling that's either workable or repairable within reason, they will release it. So there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff in there that they could be doing, but you know, let's see. The Whitley Bomber. Oh yeah, absolutely. A hole in the floor. the best way of jumping out of a plane, through a hole in the floor, into a 100-knot jet stream. Yeah, great idea. Right, Michael Keach. Why can't they release the old kits like the 4 Cortina and Escort? And again, I know they would love to re-release those. Either they can't find the molds for them, or they don't own the molds for them, because a lot of the cars were owned by Hele, I believe. Don't quote me on this. I believe a lot of the old cars are owned by Hele and someone else as well. So they may not own the molds for those. I would dearly love them to bring out the old Mark 1 Escort, because I had a couple of them. I'd love to paint them up in my old cars. But there we go. So it's things like that. The older the tooling, the more likely it is either bits are missing, or they're not up to modern standards, or they're not usable. They're not repairable easily and economically. But sometimes they've just got to be done. I mean, I'd love the Capri, Triumph Stag, all sorts of cars like that. I'd love to have back. Really would. Have they ever released vintage classics in other 170? Well, 144th they've also done with bigger things like airliners, and the 1/600th for ships. And 1/24th they've released. They're doing the Mustang this year. They did the JU87 last year. They've done the BF19 and the Hurricane in 1/24th as well, and the Harrier in 1/24th as well. So they have done quite a lot in vintage classic. It's just, you know, what they can do. John, 100 watching. It's brilliant. I love it. I love it when I see it's 100. Briefly, quick ask. If you're watching and you're enjoying it, give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button below, please, because it really, really, really does help. Helps the algorithm and things like that. Ben, is Airfix your favourite maker, Gary? Well, it's one of them. Favourite in what way? Well, favourite, I think they're doing a remarkable job. They've reinvented the company really well. There's a way to go, and they occasionally do really daft things, but I think generally speaking they are doing really well. The new stuff that they're bringing out is of good quality. I know a lot of the other sort of big name manufacturers like Tamiya and things like that are looking at Airfix and thinking, do you know what, these guys are really getting their act together. As I say, there's a long way to go. They do make mistakes, but I like what they do. I like the ease of building them and so on and so forth. I think they're doing an amazing job. Are they my favourite? Well, yeah, I guess so. Also, they're part of my growing up. It was Airfix kits and Matchbox kits. Thanks to Simon John, I'm getting to make some more Matchbox kits. So I've got to make the. It's going to start on the swordfish, and of course, then I'm going to build the other ones I haven't told you about yet because I haven't done. Well, I've done the box opening, just haven't actually published it. So I'll do the swordfish, then I can tell you about the next one, which is going to be brilliant. I promise you, it's absolutely wonderful thing next. But Airfix do very well, and I do like making them. And the stuff that's coming, I can't wait for that B24 because that's going to be an absolute beauty. The Bulldog I'm really excited about. They're not afraid to do things that are slightly odd. However, there are other companies, you know, I get a lot of ICM kits sent to me, and I love doing ICM kits. Frankly, they're really, really good. They go together well. They're interesting subjects. They're amazing. I've made a few Edward kits. They're outstanding. Absolutely outstanding, some of them. The quality is just phenomenal. It's difficult to say that one's a favourite. If you can only ever make one type of kit ever again, one manufacturer's kits ever again, it would be a tough call between Airfix and ICM only because of the massive variety that they both do. I guess Airfix would get it only because they're a British company and tend to do more British subjects that I kind of know more about. Although ICM do stuff that I never knew about, and it's kind of more interesting. You know, they do amazing things. I mean, amazing things, ICM. You know, just recently I've been sent a mobile chapel. I mean, it's, here it is. Here we go. Yeah. Mobile chapel, complete with harmonium and altar and stuff. And there's going to be a set of figures for it as well, coming out next month. The weird tracked vehicles they do, they do a lot of like the backgroundy stuff that no one else does. As well as doing the big stuff like the Junkers 88 in 1/48, which is an astonishingly beautiful kit. I look forward to everything they release. There's always quite an interesting, you know, it's always something strange and interesting and fun. And if it's a standard, like the first time they brought out the Junkers 88, you put, oh yeah, nice Junkers 88, well done you. And then suddenly they start throwing in all these variants, the Mistels, the version P with the tank buster, the one with the paravane on it, all sorts of weird and wonderful things. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But then Airfix, as I say, do a lot of things that, you know, who's going to do a Bristol Bulldog now in 1/48? So I'm really excited by that. It's a beautiful plane, really important to the history of British military aviation, but it's kind of forgotten by a lot of people. You know, excuse me. Zuekimura, they're beautiful, but then that's one range. You know, I'm thinking about a range of things and a range for the future, and I don't know if they would. I hear their Phantom, their 140th Phantom, is supposed to be outstanding, for example, but I don't know. Yeah, Dane Edwards, the ones that they do are beautiful. I mean, I've made Spitfire, a Spitfire from them. I've got all sorts of stuff up there. I've got the Zero to do. I've got a few BF 109s, as you know, and a Focke-Wulf 190, which I'm very excited about. Generally very beautifully made, very beautifully researched. And I know they're doing a few extra things coming soon, a few new things. The Griff Spitfires, I'd check out what DBMK do in the future, because they're doing a whole range of Griffon engine Spitfires. In fact, the whole range of Griffon engine Spitfires is their plan. from the right from the very earliest ones. What it's going to be? What maybe not a 12, 14, a 14. Is that the first Griffin? Then through to, all the way through to the 24s and the CFAR 47s. They're going to do the whole lot. Absolutely the whole lot. John B, good night, my friend. Thanks for joining. Glad to see you. Chris, sorry, never made that. Only ever done Airfix. So the other thing, of course, in the UK is that Airfix are really, really easy to get hold of. They've got an interesting loyalty program. So, you know, you've got like the flying hours thing. You know, you've got the club thing. So if you join that, you've got 10% off. But also if you sign up to the hobby rewards thing on their website, that essentially is 10% cash back. So by the end of the year, you bought a few kits, you've saved 10%, and you've saved up a lot of points as well. Maybe you got some flying hours. You can chuck all of those in and start getting yourself some actually really cheap kits. So that's cool. Dane, you've got your eye on DBMK. They look very interesting. They do. They are amazing. It's essentially run by two guys, Will Packard, who's like the business brain of it, and Ilya, who's used to work for Copper State Models, so he's got proper heritage in top-end model making, and they're coming up with some properly incredible ideas about how to present models and how to do them and all that. I can't wait for their Sea Fury to come out. The 1/32 scale Sea Fury just looks absolutely epic at the moment. The undercarriage bays, for example, they'll have all of the unions, all the pipe work, and then you put in your own pipe. They'll supply the wire. I don't think it will be pre-cut, but they'll give you maps of how to put in. Maybe it'd be like fuse wire, so it'd be really easy to bend around. Maybe it'd be like a brass, whatever. I don't know how if they've figured that one out just yet. But all of that sort of detail, they will give you everything you need to make that detail happen. And the smaller parts, you know, if you get some upgrade sets in resin, they come on these little blocks of resin with little parts sticking out. You can paint the parts and nip them off and put them in. Well, they thought, well, why can't you do that with polystyrene right to begin with? And that's, again, on the Sea Fury, that's what they're doing. A lot of the smaller parts, instead of being on the main sprue, come on these little blocks, injected blocks, and so you can paint them and do what you need to do, and just snip them off and put them in. They think about how to do stuff, and they're not stuck in a certain way. So I think there's a lot of very, very interesting stuff coming from them, and they're properly massive fans of model making. Properly massive fans of model making. So yeah, I hope I hope everything goes really well for them, because they are really, really exciting. Ben, sending all your model flying house to Models here. Ben, that is very, very good of you, my friend. Very kind of you to do that. Just, you know, guys, if you do have anything spare or model flying hours or whatever, and you want to do something, you think, look at something, think, oh, I'm glad I've got that, but I'm never, ever, ever going to build those, then think about chucking them over to Models for Heroes, a few bits here and there, because they can really do some good with that. As though behind the 48 in 48 hour group build recently I did. It was organised by Model Officers Mesh, James Skiffins, but to raise funds for Models for Heroes. The work they do is, for some people, is quite literally a lifesaver. For people that have given pretty much everything to our country, I think, you know, it's the least we can do now and again. I do understand everyone's got pressures on their lives and stuff like that, so it's only if you can, then help them out. Brilliant. Monogram Black Widow, lovely. Darren, am I looking forward to the RNLI kit releases? Yes, I am. At the moment, I think it's just the Shannon. I think that they're releasing this year. I'm going to a press event about it in June. Excuse me. I've got one on order anyway. but they're doing a press launch or something like that in June that I've been invited to, and it's at the RNLI college where they train the crews and stuff like that, and they've got a simulator. No, I like a simulator. I've flown a lot of simulators, aircraft simulators of various kinds. From I haven't flown anything really fast on a simulator, like a tornado or a typhoon. I love how that go at the typhoon simulator. But oh, Ian, good night, mate. We try our best, fella. Try our best. Yeah, I haven't flown any of the really big sims like that, but I've flown a few big airline sims like 747 and 777, you know, the British Airways ones up the road from here, because I had a contact there a while back, and Airbus. 737 some years ago. I've flown the shuttle simulator a few years back, which was bonkers. That was really crazy. But yeah, they've got a lifeboat simulator, I guess, for teaching the masters of the lifeboats how to deal with waves and stuff, like all the complex interplay of waves and wind and stuff when you're trying to get alongside a ship that's broken and stricken, trying to get people off, or something like that. I don't know. We'll have fun. We'll see. That's in sometime in June, I think it is. So that's going to be a laugh. I'm guessing then the Shannon kit will be released toward late June, I'm guessing, because of the dates. So anyway, yeah. So the that's the Shannon, and the other one that's coming out is a re-release. The 7 is a re-release. And remember, of course, the coxswain. Yes, sorry, the driver. Sorry, Mikey. I know for the son of a naval man, my knowledge of nautical terminology is not very good. The coxswain, of course, steers it around. The 7 is a pre-order, but it is a re-release. But of course, do remember that if you buy either or both of them, then some of that cost goes to the RNLI, which is brilliant because they exist entirely on voluntary donations and legacies and things like that. They don't actually get funded, as far as I'm aware, at all by the government, which is a national disgrace, if I may say so. But there we go, that's just me. Yeah, and also, if you do get one of these Shannons, or the 7 of course, then it's a very good thing to start thinking about a bit of a dynamic sea diorama, because it's, you know, like the one I did with Devonshire, and it's flat and a little bit wavy, and it's very, but you know, a bit more of a rough old sea and crashing through waves and that structural acrylics and stuff like that. Oh, you can do all sorts of stuff on that. So yeah, that could be cool. Um, they are releasing both, Ben. Don't worry, they are definitely releasing both of them. Right, what am I going to do next? Well, I've been chatting. That should have set. So I'm going to need to reach over and get some of this. Oh, there we go. There's some filler, doing a tiny little bit of filling here and there. Right, basic question. Oh, hang on. Okay, Mikey, there seems to be some sort of subtext here of wish fulfillment going on. Bear in mind, they also have a sea survival pool where they can chuck you in and show you what it's like to try and survive in stormy seas. So they could put that in as well. Lol. Thanks very much, mate. I'll have you know. I did survival things when I was at school. We did that, and I ended up being able to instruct survival. Not in water like that though. That was bonkers. And I've done a lot of diving, so I'd be reasonably comfortable with it. I'd be fine with it. I've done immersion drill years and years and years ago. I've forgotten most of it, but I have done immersion drill for flying in fast jets. Yeah, it would be really cool, wouldn't it? Do you know the one that would not freak me out, but the one I would like to try? Sometimes I think I'd like to try it, and then sometimes I think I wouldn't. Is the one that I think the Navy have them for helicopter ditching, where the helicopter, they got like a helicopter cabin and it ditches in the water and goes down and then turns over, and you have to wait for it to stop and then unhook yourself and get out. That would be tough. That would be really tough. Richard, sorry, Bobby, have I ever built a Heinkel 177? I built one when, I mean, how long ago was it? A lot of years ago, when I was, the first time round, when I was doing this, I built the Airfix one. I've got an egg one to build, but I actually quite like the 177. It was a pretty rubbish aeroplane in many respects, but yeah, excuse me. Sorry about that. Hobby Boss is going to do a 148th one. Yeah, I've heard about that as well, Richard, but I've not seen anyone come out. Yeah, Mikey, lol, funny man. Peter Thorsby, you had an old link trainer when he was in the Air Cadets. We had one at the CCF at school as well. An old one. I noticed when I went up to Duxford, they've got one there, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that actually works anymore. Oh, I used to love that old thing. When I went back to my school, like for the reunion thing, it had gone a long time ago. I think the old boy who used to come and service it and look at the valves and whatever had left link simulation, and they didn't have anyone who could, deal with it anymore. I think he was pretty much doing it on his own time anyway, just out of a hobby sort of thing almost, to keep this old thing going. But it was lovely. I remember it was blue. And then one Easter, we repainted it in sort of red, white, and black RAF training colours. It was really nice. It was fun. Never quite got the map thing to work, but yeah. Yes, oil rigs. Yes, as well they do. Oil rigs do that. It's occasionally very, very dangerous thing. A lot of the danger of working on the rigs is actually getting out to work on them, because they do fly in some fairly adverse conditions. And you do have to know what to do if things go pear-shaped. Yeah, give them immersion suits and all the rest of it as well. Sorry, just doing this. NASA had a sensory deprivation. Yeah. Yes. NASA had a lot of strange things back in the day. I seem to remember. The shuttle sim was really cool. A really, really, really cool thing to fly. Yeah. Sorry, I know I should be talking, but a bit like President Ford, I find it difficult to walk and chew gum at the same time these days. My brain really isn't working on all cylinders quite a lot of the time. Rev will do a 1/72. Yes, they do. I believe it's quite nice. Yeah. Custom decals for a Shannon class. I don't know. Don't know anyone. You could look into actually printing your own, of course. Depends on whether the decals include white or not. If they don't, then it's relatively straightforward. I am led to believe, I've never done it myself yet, to get decal paper and run it through sort of a standard inkjet and create your own decals. And there's a few things you have to bond the surface and, you know, cut it out carefully and stuff like that. But it's not impossible to do. I don't know if anyone will do any aftermarket or not. The usual suspects of these things, you know, like the Hannants and people like that of the world, I don't think they intend to do aftermarket for ships very much anyway. I may be wrong, but I don't think they do. So maybe you need a supplier who specialises a bit more in that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know what will come. I guess one scheme will come with the actual kit. It will be for one boat, but you know, who knows? Have a touch of the black stuff, keep me going. Hey, budget modeler, how you doing, you fella? How are you? Keeping well? I hope you are. Hope you're enjoying a little drink as well. Oh dear. Graham just wants to replicate your local lifeboat. That's fantastic. It's possible once the thing's released, maybe there will be more aftermarket comes up that they will do this sort of thing. So who knows? Who knows? I hope they do, because that would be really good. You know, might encourage a lot of people to do their local lifeboat. I think these things will probably be sold through lifeboat stations as well as all the normal things. So let's think. Yeah, beach buggy is a fine kit to make. A really fine kit to make. Yes, you can try and mask and paint the numbers, or it might. I don't know how big the numbers are, but certainly you can get aftermarket numbers for aircraft serials that might actually fit the size. I don't know. Well, if a 7 class comes with decals for all the stations, it would be nice if they did with the Shannon. I don't know if they will, as I said, because it's a starter kit. Maybe they won't, but maybe they will, to give you that option, you know, saleability of support your local lifeboat by building your local lifeboat would make a lot of sense. Budget modeler, the 1/18th scale 0. Dear goodness, that's a huge thing. How big is that? And the 24th Spitfire is big, but an 18th scale 0. Wow. That's going to need. That's not going to have a man cave to put it in. That's going to be like. That's going to be the whole living room or something. Dude, that's incredible. 18th scale aeroplane. That's just not right. Just not right. I can't imagine building something that size, to be honest with you. I can't. Bit like that 1/35th scale CH-54 from ICM. It's just so big. So big. It's huge. Okay. That explains it. Thank you. I think that's a new international standard SI units of scale. You have like the meter, and you have the huge. The base for it's 60 by 60. My goodness. Wow. Is that a Tonka on my bench? Budget model? Yes, it is. It's the 144th scale Academy Tonka, and I am about to put some nozzles on the back end of it. Just kind of thing that I mess around with when I do these. See, I thought originally, in my naive early days of doing live streaming, people kept saying to me, "We've got to do a live stream. Got to." Oh, okay, I'll do a live stream. figure out how to do it and get some software and all the rest of it. And I thought to myself, well, it's going to be me sitting here for like 2 hours and basically just broadcasting myself making something to the world and no one actually watching. And as it turns out, fortunately a lot of people watch, but unfortunately it means that I don't get much done. So oh sorry, I got caught by another message there, and because I'm a bear of very little brain, my brain is like a Tandy home computer of the early 80s now. You know, I can remember like 3 things at once, and if you ask me what my name is, I have to forget one of those things. So yeah, I thought that hardly anyone would ever watch it and all that, and then suddenly loads of people started watching it, so it became a bit of a joke that I was making something and nothing got done. So what I thought was I would pick a kit that I wouldn't normally otherwise do and do that for the live stream. And I've ended up on the Tuesday live streams, the third Tuesday, I was doing this little 144 scale thing, and on the first Thursday one I do an egg kit, and currently it's the HMS Hood I'm doing. So yeah, 144 scale Tonka it is. Oh goodness me. Really. Yes, yes, all of them. Yeah. Yeah, GR1s and F3s. Well, I've got like the 32nd scale Revell one up there to do at some point. Sorry about that. So yeah, I love a Tonka. As I was saying earlier, I actually do love a Tonka. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but a really nice thing. Someone's Bobby G. Does ICM put any restrictions on the kits they send me? No, they don't. They actually don't. As obviously they want me to do something for the channel, which I've started doing a lot of the box opening type of reviews, because there's stuff on there I just don't have time to deal with. A few things are going to go to Models for Heroes, and I have actually been thinking about raffling the CH54 set, the Fubai set, but I need to check that out. I have thought about it, so we will get to that at some point. I mean, they're doing another 1 or 2 releases of the CH54 this year, and they're very nice. Bless them, they are really nice. In the past I've said, I would like to do that, but there's no way I can do that for the channel, and they just said, I will send it you anyway, on a set of kit biplanes, I think it was. So they're really nice. I do try to do at least a box opening of everything they send me, because it's the very least I can do, and it keeps them going. And also I need to actually do a review of their paints properly and things like that. So no, they don't have any restrictions on what I do with them once I've finished with them. So I am thinking about different things to do with them. Anyway. Oh dear John. Moving, what a nightmare. Yeah, do some unboxing videos, come on. Yeah, if you want to do that, dude, let me know, and I'll steer you to some software and chat you through it all. Don't you worry, you'd be a natural, absolutely natural. Good for you, mate. Look, very best of luck with your move, John. I know it's a nightmare thing to do, but I know you've shared some pictures of the place you're going, and it looks absolutely idyllic, my friend. It looks beautiful, so best of luck with that. Let me know how it gets on. Mikey, bearded veteran, just sliced your finger. Ah, come on. Yeah, I know. Take it, just like another thing, isn't it? Just take it like a man. That's good, lad. Good lad. Everyone's got a, a combat wound of, yeah, one type or another of these things. I've got. I don't know if you can see. Got a sort of scar that runs around here. That was a butternut squash related incident. I was trying to chop a butternut squash and I slipped, and then the knife, yeah. It's better than having holes in you from bullets, I suppose, isn't it, mate? Yes, Peter, Ben, I've got a TimberTech compressor, actually. Lots of strange airbrushes, but my TimberTech compressor works very, very nice. Ooh, under your fingernail. Oh my goodness me. Seahawk. Let me think, David. Let me think. Hang on. I just need to get something from up here. Oh, goodness. You know how it is. You've got things all over the place and things to look at. And Ace of Diamonds, wasn't it? The Seahawk. I went through a stage of buying Seahawk decals because I needed some for 800 Squadrons aircrafts. 72. Yeah. You do have to watch these things. These knives and stuff. We joke about it, but seriously, you do really need to look out for it. Yes. So I've, like everyone, I've got loads of decals lying around, and I will see if any of them. I wouldn't have done them as the right ones because 72136 was it? 72136. Right. So what are you actually after, my friend? Cause oh, I've got to go back up all these things. Sorry, Simon. Yes, I didn't see that. Sorry, very apologise, Simon L. Gallery Airbrush is brilliant. Yes, and mine is on a TimberTech and it works perfectly. I'm so happy with it. So happy with it. Right, I've got bits of the extra. I've got the Ace of Diamonds bits. I know I've got another copy of this, but I don't know if I've used the decals. Yeah, I do have another one, but I've used the decals for something else. There's a couple of those. If these are of any use, drop me a note through drop me an email. If you go to the about bit in the page at the bottom of there's a thing, stuff@GarySEvans.com. If these are enough for you with the red diamond things and the Royal Navy things, and there's the Whiskey Foxtrot 174 big and small, and the 171 the J, okay. If those are of any use, they're useless to me, drop me a thing, I'll wick them in the post to you. Job's a good one, yeah? So let me know if they're of any use to you, as they are like that with the Ace of Diamonds thing. It might be that you can use other things to make it exactly what you want. It's not like any stencils or anything. This is just the markings. So hopefully that should be the right one. There's also Whiskey Victor 834 there as well. Let me know which is which. If you need them, just let me know and I'll chuck them over to you. Oh, dude, that's not nice. A drill bit. Oh my goodness. Mark, g'day. How you doing, fella? Glad to see you. Jaws, airbrushing in a garden shed with the door open. Is an extraction fan really needed? Open. It kind of depends on maybe the stuff that you're using. I wouldn't necessarily like to use lacquers unless I had some sort of properly push. But yeah, probably okay. But remember, of course, that depends on the air conditions as well. Because if it's a cold day or humidity's not right, it could really mess up the curing qualities of your paints as well. So it would be useful from that perspective, is all I'm saying. Is the nozzle of a gallery airbrush meant to just fall out of the nozzle cap? It doesn't always. And look who's just turned up. Crazy Locha, dude. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you, man. He's such a good lad. Excuse me, sorry. Right. Going back, Andy, just the nozzles, right. I use these a lot, okay? You get them really cheaply, AliExpress, Temu, places like that. They're like really, really thin cotton buds, basically. I think they're used in like nail bars to clean like that, you know? But they are brilliant for airbrush cleaning. And if I get hold of one just to show you what I mean. So if you've got an airbrush and you take the nozzle off, and the of course this time it won't come off because it's actually I haven't used this one very often, so yet. There we go. Right. So if we're assuming the nozzle's got stuck in the back, okay, like that, and you can't get it out, use one of these, a little bit of alcohol or water on it, and push it in. It fits in really nicely, and then you can give it a tweak and it will come out with it. It also cleans a lot of like that. This is a really long nozzle, but it, with the shorter nozzles of the galleries, it'll clean a long way in there. So that's what you need. I mean, they cost really, really little. I mean, $1 for like 100 or something. I mean, not quite. Maybe $2 for 100. They're really cheap. But that's you can get them at them because they're quite compact and soft. They don't do any damage to the interior bore of the nozzle. I've had these as well, where nozzles get the air channels at the side. They get maybe a bit of backflush from the paint or something like that. So also when you're cleaning, you know, make sure you backflush it properly. That will help get rid of it. But these little nail cleaning things are an absolute godsend. When you've used it, snap off the end and you've got a nice little bit of metal stick. Excuse me. Nice little bit of wooden stick, and that like goes in. You know, I use that to put things on, to spray paint them or whatever. Yeah, I can use them for 100 different things. So you only lose a little bit of the end, and then obviously they can be chucked in your compost because they're wood. So that's what I do. Those little nail cleaning things are an absolute godsend. Also, with those you can put it into this end and clean out this end as well. So really, really useful thing to have for your airbrush cleaning needs. I hope that helps. And if it's absolutely clean, it will fall out. But these things gather muck. No, whoever makes them, they do gather muck. Okay, okay, oh, just loads to catch up with. How was going? Yeah, David, please, stuff at GarySEvans.com. Give me and I'll chuck in whatever you need. That'd be brilliant. Dane, good to see you, mate. Thank you so much for dropping by. Take very good care. Crazy Locha, I know you're mad busy at the moment. Thank you so much for dropping by. I really do appreciate it, and certainly appreciate you gifting those memberships. Oh, sorry, make sure I put that away safely. Very kind of you, mate. Simon, what rigging do I use? Good question. I now have to try and find it wherever I put it. Here we go. This is the one I use at the moment. Ammo rigging, 0.03 millimeters. Now, here's the thing. This says it's supposed to be. It's actually the Ushi one, but they've licensed it and helped sell it. This is the fine. They then do super fine and ultra fine. But I think it's a little too fine for like 48th and bigger. I might be wrong, but I just think it's a little bit too fine. So there are other companies that will do lycra based rigging, but this is the one I've been using recently. Ammo rigging, the fine one. It's brilliant, really easy to use. Just goes on, dab of super glue at one end, in it goes, let that set. Dab of super glue over another bit, pull it slightly taut, not really tight but a little bit taut, let it set on, snip off the end, and that slight tautness in the lycra or spandex, whichever it is, keeps it absolutely straight. Makes life so much easier, really does. Colin, first time been watching the show and enjoying it. Very glad to hear that, Colin. Do come back for more. First Thursday of every month and the third Tuesday of every month I'll be here. If you don't yet, please make sure you check out Monday Matters on a Monday, because I will always tell you when the next live stream is going to be. But thank you so much for coming along and for leaving a message. Really, really appreciate it, dude. Leslie, nail makeup cleaning sticks. Yeah, that's pretty much the sort of thing. Exactly what it is, like a micro swab. That's exactly the kind of thing it is. And they cost very, very, as you say, like £1.58 for 500. I mean, and the I've got that. I keep mentioning it's like I've got a new spray booth, but there's a turntable and it's got lots of holes for sticking things in, so you can hold. These fit perfectly into those holes. So once I've used it for cleaning the airbrush or whatever, snap, throw away the head or dispose of the head responsibly, and then I've got a little stick thing. I can put those in to support stuff being sprayed. You can use them for all sorts of things. Really, really, all sorts of things. Yeah. Oh, Andy, dude. Is it unacceptable to unravel a pair of your missus's best tights to get some rigging? Depends how much flex is left, I think, in the material. I don't think it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable probably if you get caught, and if they're brand new, because why would you want used ones? Not, Stephen Baker, building an Airfix F4 Phantom, enjoying the show. Glad to hear you're enjoying it, and glad to hear you're being an F4 Phantom. I actually have an Airfix Phantom up there. Excuse me a second. That I should be building at some point. I'm just very scared of all the decals, all the stencils. I think the Phantom is one of a group. We're at the very pinnacle of over stenciling. It's just phenomenal, the number. Ben gifting another one. Thank you so much, dude. That's really kind of you. Absolutely kind of you. So thank you very much. It's the only reason to get up on a Monday. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it makes my Sundays go really well, really well. James Danny, can I recommend a good acrylic chrome paint? Oh, now that's a tester. If you're meaning one like a proper high gloss chrome, I'm not sure, because I don't ever use them. I don't do cars, so I can't do that. I would suggest to you, check out Barbatos Rex, Barbatos, the new word REX. His website, his YouTube site, because he's like the king of spraying stuff, and he does a lot of cars and he does a lot of chrome. So go through his stuff, and he will tell you, like, he reviews everything, Alclads and all the rest of it. But not only that, but also the base. I know the other day he was looking at Tamiya spray on gloss black as a base for metallics, for example. But have a look at his website, because I just don't do it. If anyone else does do chrome work for cars or whatever, and that they've got a suggestion for an acrylic, please join in here. Dave, thank you so much for gifting some memberships. That is so cool. Dudes, can I just say, all of you who have gifted memberships, thank you so much for your generosity, because not only it's good for me, obviously. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But it's also really nice that you're doing something so someone else gets to enjoy the the specials that I do on a Saturday or a weekend, normally on Saturday. And guys, if you enjoy it and you really think it's fun, keep the membership up when it finishes at the end of the month. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy what we do. But thank you very much, guys. The Airfix Phantom, does it have a Vietnam scheme option? No, the current ones don't, because they are actually, or do they? No, I don't think they do, because they are I might be wrong in this, but I think all of the current Airfix versions of the Phantom are the Spey engined ones, the F4Ks. So the FG1 and the FGR2. I don't think any of them are is it the J that's got the original engines. I think all the ones that Airfix do are the Spey engined ones. So of course they'll just have UK RAF and Royal Navy schemes. So you would need to convert. I don't know how much of a conversion it would be, because I don't know how much of the conversion from the original, what was they, General Electrics, to the Spey, how much bodywork change there was. The exhausts are definitely very different. I think the inlets are slightly different as well. I don't know if there is any sort of shape of the bodywork was different. I couldn't honestly tell you. So there may be a conversion set somewhere that you can turn it into an American. Probably, I'm guessing an F4E, maybe. Again, I don't know. Yeah, there's going to be other people who know a lot more about American Phantoms than I do, about Phantoms in general I do. So, short answer is sadly no, it doesn't. There may be conversions, but I don't know if there are. I mean, it's probably a lot easier just to buy a 1/72 scale F4 from somewhere, F4E or whatever from somewhere. Yeah, I know, the jaws, the stencils. Ah, Philippe de Bourgogne. Bonsoir, mon ami. Oh, right, very nice. Very nice. The one and I'm with Gallant in 1/32. Very nice indeed. Very nice. AK Extreme Metals are awesome. Great for that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The stencils, decals numbered up to 522. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy. But there we go. Especially all the ones on the underside, you know, like the bottom of the wing. There's lots of panels on the bottom of the wing, and there's also little decals to go on, like, don't open this, don't touch this. I told you before, don't touch this, or whatever they actually say. Oh, it's amazing. Alright, so there you go. The Spey engines, Phantoms had a slightly broader fuselage, because the engines were different. I knew there was a lot of internal difference to them, but I didn't know whether or not it actually physically was on the external dimensions were different, and yes, they were. Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that information. So essentially, if you want a Vietnam era Phantom, it's a lot easier just to find a good 1/72 scale Phantom F4E or something like that. Oh, g'day, dudes. Al, returning model after 45 years. Kinda know how you feel, mate. Glad you look like Monday Matters. It's my favourite thing. Looking for a good wingnut wings kit to get my teeth into. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I've not made mine yet. I do have one. I've got a sock with camel up there, but I haven't started it yet. I really need to. I need to try and get ahead of myself a little bit, and then I can have the luxury of doing something. Because when something like that, you really have to dedicate time and effort to it. It's such a beautiful thing, you know. And that's why you like the Soviet. Oh, you do, don't you? You like your Soviet. Oh, you like your KV2s, don't you? Oh, don't blame you. It's a fab-looking KV2 always struck. The KVs actually in general just struck me as sort of things like, yes, let's look purely at function. Don't worry about what it looks like. Absolute function. It's just it works. They work. They were great. Excuse me a sec. Do excuse me, but I still do have this cough that's been lingering over for absolutely ages. Yeah, yeah, Mikey, you're right. World War One vehicles really don't have very often. Yeah, they didn't bother telling people to leave things alone. They just assumed people would leave things alone unless they were told to touch things. You know, am I going to Model World Live at the NEC? I wasn't planning to, but I'm kind of tempted to. I'm not sure. I need to. I'll look into it. I may well do. Yeah, apparently it costs quite a lot to park up there, so I might actually go by train. And then going by train has its own issues. It's actually not a difficult drive because I live in West London, so it's straight onto the M40 and I'm away. But I'll look into it. I kind of think I probably should, but I don't know. I'll think about that. I may do. Yeah, blue paint. Yes, absolutely, Tom. That suits me very nicely. Philippe, thank you very much for your very kind remarks, my friend. Tamira acrylic paint guy and I started to use AK 3rd Gen. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys are saying the new AK 3rd Gen is actually a really, really nice paint. I think I've got a couple of them actually. I think I got the Soviet interior blue or something. Really nice, really nice. Canopy masking is your nightmare. But yeah, I feel your pain, mate. You know, 1/44th scale, 144th scale. I don't like doing it at all. Excellent. Yeah, yeah. Do you know, I use a lot of Vallejo paint because I did. I've started using some ammo because there's some really nice colours and stuff. Works really well. And I've started looking at AK 3rd Gen as well. You know, I'm trying to broaden out the paints. I've got some Mr. Hobby coming as well, to start looking at that. There's sort of more lacquer based paints as well. Will the primers and varnishes work together? I don't see why not. I've used Tamiya varnish, Tamiya primer, and then used all sorts of stuff on top of it, Vallejo, AK, whatever, and it's worked perfectly well. As long as you leave the paints to cure long enough, I think the varnishes should work very well as well. I don't see why not. I have used the flat, I can't remember what the XF number is, but there's a clear flat. I've used that on top of Vallejo before, and that's worked really well. But it has to be a really gentle coat. If you put too much on, then the little bobbly bits, the little beading or whatever starts showing as a sort of a chalky look. But if it's a very thin coat first and then leave it to set, do another thin coat, works like a charm. I've really had no problems at all with that. Andy, just realised you're old enough for an old person's rail car. Well, good for you, mate, because yeah, it makes life a lot easier going to things like Birmingham, doesn't it, really? Humbrol metallics are not good. No, I don't like Humbrol metallics terribly much. I was chatting with Damien Jaws, who you saw earlier, about this earlier on, and he had painted something from the Irish Air Corps using Humbrol 11. It's a vampire, and you know what? Humbrol 11 is supposed to be silver, and it's really rubbish at silver. But what it's actually quite good at is high speed silver, which used to be like a silver but with added white into it, that the RAF used in particular. I know other people like the Irish also use. So that Humbrol 11 actually in that instance is a really good silver, but it's supposed to be dull and whitish. I don't know if that Humbrol ever intended it to be like that, but that's what it is these days, and it works really nicely for that. Vallejo metal. Yeah, the Vallejo metal colours are nice. You do have to have a good black undercoat for them, I find. And then on top they work out pretty well. Okay, but I can't get that really rich chrome. This was done with metal colour. This is the aluminium, and it kind of looks right, but it's not shiny. But then aluminium shouldn't be really shiny, I guess. But it coats nicely if you do a decent black coat first, but then spray it gently over. Do again a few light coats, and you can get a really nice finish. But I haven't tried any of their chrome finishes. I think chrome might just be a step too much for that. I don't know. If I'm twiddling my thumbs on 7th of September, Medway Model Show. Okay, at the museum in Gillingham. Let me check out that, because September I am going to Albania on holiday, so I don't know if that is going to be over. If I'm in the UK on the 7th, listen to me, like some big Hollywood thing. Yeah, if I'm in the UK, then if I'm around, I will definitely give that a thought, because it's really not far to go. Can you apply an enamel wash over an acrylic gloss? Yes, I have, and it works fine. Again, let the acrylic gloss cure properly for a day or two, really seriously for a day or two, and then it will work absolutely fine, no problem at all. Andy, with these acrylics, I do wonder whether you really need the AK thinner rather than the Vallejo one, because sometimes with these things they've got some gunk in there that other acrylic thinners don't work with terribly well. But there we go. Oh, excuse me. Good, it's 10 o'clock already. Let's keep going for a few minutes more, can't we? Graham, anyone go to the Scottish Nationals in Perth? Sadly, I'm not. I hope some of you are. Hope some of you are. I love going to. When I went up to Peterborough, I really enjoyed it. I should go to more shows. So I really enjoyed it. I really like when people come and say hello. And I'm just an ordinary model maker. I'm not anything special. I'm just literally an ordinary model maker, just like you lot. It's just the only difference is I do this for a living, and I do it with a camera. Other than that, I'm no different to any of you guys. So I really enjoy chatting with people. I really enjoy gossiping. I really enjoy trying to figure out stuff, and got questions, and I've learned all sorts of stuff going to these shows. I've picked up tips and tricks from them, and it's invaluable. So I will be going to a few more shows this year. Sadly, I don't think I can really justify going to Perth, but yeah, I'll look into Birmingham and Medway if I'm in the country. It's good to meet people. It's good to chat with fellow model makers, and there we go. It's almost looks like a tornado now. Look at that. Amazing. Just need to file these, sand these down obviously, and put that on with a bit of PVA, and then I can get down to spraying the thing. How exciting. Okay. An inspiration. I think it's a little. That's very kind of you to say that, first of all. But yeah, just try and do what I do, mate. And I get inspired by a lot of what you guys are doing. I look at some of the group build stuff and I think, whoa, I could never build like that. Oh, it's beautiful, some of the stuff I see. And you see some stuff and you think, actually, that's pretty nice. And then you find out that guy's never made anything else before. It's his first ever go at a kit. You think, wow, my first go at a kit was nothing like as good as that. So, and look at the comments that pop up and everything. The sharing of information is good and generous and very knowledgeable and really cool. And that's the kind of the whole thing I'm trying to do is build that kind of little sense of community. Sorry, knocking over my camera. A sense of community. Hence, like the Facebook group and things like that. Join in with that. 6 scale model south in Eastbourne. Well, Derek, that's interesting. That is not very far from the guys at Model Works in New Haven. That's not that far away from them. That could be a nice little 2-point visit. Go and see the show and then nip down to Model Works as well. 6th of July, you say? Interesting. I'll make a note of that. Excuse me, just a minute. Okay, it's gone 10. I've almost finished it. I'm going until this is still, while this is going. Nothing else to do. Yes, time does fly when you're enjoying yourself. Tell me about it. When I've got to do things like my financials and stuff like that, time drags a long time. When I suddenly got to do a bit of model making, it's like, well, time's gone. You said you'd do this, and you said you only do that for a couple of hours, and then you're gonna. Those couple of hours really fly, really fly. Ben, would be interesting to see a picture of everyone's first and latest builds for comparison. Do you know what? That is a good idea, Ben. Maybe we can do that through the Facebook group. That could be a kind of thing to do at a Facebook group. Do a first and last. Like on the radio, they have like first and. Is it on Radio 2? Sarah Cox's show, she does like a first and last gig that you've been to, so first gig and your last gig, and they play music from both bands or whatever. That could be kind of cool. Your first build that you did and your most latest build, it'd be really exciting to see what a lot of people, how they've progressed. I know I've changed like out of all proportion to where I was 3 or 4 years ago even, but that's because I do it all day every day basically. And I learn a lot from people that watch my show and say, hey Gary, right, you can try doing this, or try and do it, or watch this YouTube where he explains it. It's all a learning process that we all share, and it's great to be a part of. It really is. Model works are at the show. Oh, that's even better. Oh, I'll definitely have a chat with them about doing that. Fantastic. Jaws, great live stream. Thank you so much for joining in, mate. Really, really enjoyed seeing you. Yeah, latest book, Airfix Hamden from Vintage Classics. So, well, they're re-releasing the Hamden, of course, this year. Of course. John, great stuff. Good to see you here, John. Have a brilliant day, my friend. I know that your day is just starting, just about as mine's about to finish, but thanks for joining in from the other side of the world. Andy, a year since you burst your first kit as an adult. That's amazing, man. It must have sort of felt like you flew over, and I bet you over that year you felt like you've just done so much better. I know I do it. I look at things I did a year ago and think, did I really do a video about that? Yeah. But that's what it's all about. It's what it's all about. Simon, no, 4 o'clock in the morning. My goodness, thanks so much for hanging on. Yeah, well, yes, yeah, Mikey. I'm kind of a little scared by Friends of Models for Heroes. I've joined it. I've paid up for a year. I know I've had some proper laughs chatting on that with you on Discord, but I kind of think sometimes a bit like this. It'll be like, I haven't done anything on this for ages because I've been chatting. This is my live stream. I should be. I just think, you know, I know I'm going to get on Discord and I'll be doing something and be like, putting it, and another thing. But it's good. It's good for the old head to do these things sometimes. Anyway, Peter, good night, mate. Good to see you. Do remember, next live stream is going to be on the first Thursday of April, which will be the 4th of April, he said, looking at his Tasmanian calendar. So the 4th of April will be the next live stream. I will make sure that I flag it in Monday Matters before that, obviously. Oh, sorry, yeah, it is the Victoria Cross collection, stupid me. Will the Hamden be a new tool? No, it's a Vintage Classics release, so it will have new decal sheet for it, but it won't be a completely new tool, sadly. It's a Vintage Classic. So it's the same kit as you've already got, but with modern, the latest sort of cartograph decals. Mikey, yeah, I know, same here, dude, I know. Oh, the Mary Rose, that's a lovely, lovely little kit to make as well. Anyway, look, it's 8 minutes past 10 by my watch, so probably time to go. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've had a great time. Looks pretty much like you have. I'll be back for Monday Matters and, of course, everything else on the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because then you'll get notified of all the things that come up. Give it the old thumbs up on the like button below, please, because every like absolutely does count. The algorithm loves it. And I will see you on the channel again very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week and take very good care. Bye-bye now.